Jai Hind students, welcome to science lecture of grade 7. Today I will try to give you classroom exposure because I am going to use the whiteboard today. Last time we finished our chapter motion and the time. After completing that chapter, can you imagine which chapter we will do today? Okay, let me give you a clue. All of you close your eyes for 10 seconds. Now open your eyes. What the change is? When your eyes were closed, you were not able to see the objects around you. But when your eyes are open, you can see the objects around you. So what does it mean? What is the difference? The difference was that our eyes were not getting the light when the eye was closed. And we are able to see the object because of this light. So I think now you understand what is the meaning of the term light. You yourself can define the term light. The main purpose of the light is to see the objects. So how can you define the light? So light, it is form of energy which enables us to see objects. So that form of energy is called light. Without light, we cannot see the objects. Now, in the night, if lights are not switched on, there is a darkness in the room. Can we see the objects in the darkness? Answer is no. We cannot see the objects in the darkness. Why we cannot see the objects in the darkness? Because there is no light available. If the light is there, definitely we can see the objects. Now, let us do a very simple topic that is called the rectilinear nature of light. Very simple. Why this topic is very simple? Let me tell you. Let us say, think of a laser light. All of you might have seen the laser light. In the night, you will find that the light, it is traveling in this way. What is this way? It's a straight path. I think now it's clear what I'm talking about. Rectilinear nature of the light. What does it mean? It means that light travels in straight line. Light travels in straight line. This is called the rectilinear nature of the light. Can you give me some examples by which we can prove that light travels in the straight line? Now, I will give you the examples all of you have seen in your day-to-day life. Let us say, let's imagine this is the car and this is the headlight of the car. So what you found from the headlight of the car? This is one headlight, this is another. What will happen? You might have seen that the light is coming in this way. If you are riding on a two-wheeler, let us say a two-wheeler, and there is a single light, what you found? You find that light is traveling in this way. What is this path? This path is a straight line. So we can say that headlight of the cars or bikes or any other vehicles, right? The light coming from the headlights of the vehicle, it follows a straight path. Next example is laser light that I have told you. Now, in addition to that, you have done very beautiful phenomena in your junior classes. Formation of day and night. How the day and night are formed? Day and nights are formed because of the rotation of the earth about its axis. Let us say this is the earth and earth is rotating about this axis. Now, let us say this is the light coming from the sun. What is happening? Light is not bending here. Light is not bending. It is not forming the chord path. So this is the reason that why this first half is having the day and whereas other half of the earth is having night. So day and night, they are also the examples of the rectilinear nature of the light. Another example of the rectilinear nature of the light is solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. All of you know how solar eclipse is formed and how lunar eclipse is formed. Okay, let me tell you about the solar eclipse. Let us say this is the sun and this is moon and this is the say earth. What happens? The light from the sun, when earth, sun and moon, they are in the straight line. This is sun, this is moon, this is the earth. So what happens in that case? They are moving in a straight, they are in the straight line. The light coming from the sun, what happens? The moon, it blocks the light coming from the sun. So as a result of this, the shadow of the moon, it falls on the earth. So on whatever the part the shadow is formed, we say that solar eclipse has taken place on that part, and after that there is a concept of umbra and penumbra that you have done in your junior classes. So we can say that solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, they are also based on the rectilinear nature of the light. Now let me tell you one activity which confirms the rectilinear nature of the light. I think you can do that activity in your home. What do you do? All of you are having a water pipe in your home. Take a small water pipe. Let us say this is a small water pipe made up of rubber, and you can see, if I will try to see through a small water pipe, what will happen? I can see that, right? Now this is the pipe. If I try to look through this pipe, I am able to see this finger in this, but when I bend this pipe, I am not able to see this. Now you can also see that this is the pipe. I think you can see a part of the whiteboard. Now if I do this, if I bend this, you are not able to see this. So what does this indicate? This activity clear cut indicates that light travels in the straight line. It indicates that there is a rectilinear nature of the light. Now another activity is that take 3 cardboards. These 3 cardboards are identical. With the help of a wire, make fine hole through the center of the cardboard. Let's say these 3 are the cardboards. Now what do? Make a small hole in the cardboards, and if you place a candle here, let us say This is the candle. You are able to see this candle if you will look from the cardboard sheet, right? But if you disturb this cardboard, what will happen? You will not be able to see the light. Why? It is because light travels in the straight line. So these activities, they indicates that light travels in the straight line. So I am repeating this. The rectilinear propagation of light means that light travels in straight line. And the various examples based on this is that light coming from the headlights of the cars, formation of day and night, formation of lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, and many more examples. Laser light, many more examples. So I think rectilinear nature of the light is clear. Now after rectilinear nature of the light, we are going to do a very interesting topic, which is more simple to this. What is that topic? That topic is reflection. What is the meaning of the term reflection? Have you heard reflection before? There is a famous story of lion and clever hare. What was in the story? All of you know that lion has seen his reflection in the well, and he thought that this is the another lion. Because of that, what has happened? The lion jumped into the well and finally he died. So what is the meaning of the term reflection? Let me explain the term reflection. Sometime you throw a ball, it bounces back. Ball has gone there, it came there. Another example. So let me explain it from this. Before explaining the concept of reflection, there is a very simple term that is called the ray. What is the meaning of the term ray? We have studied that the light is traveling along the straight path. This straight path along with its direction is called the ray. That is, the light is traveling along the straight path. If I attack its direction, let us say this is the source of the light, let us say this is the headlight. So where the light will go? The light will go in this direction. So if I say that this is the light, then what I am saying? This is the ray which is going in this direction. If I don't mark direction, it is just a straight line. It is not the ray. For the ray, direction is must. The ray specifies the direction of propagation. What is the meaning of the term propagation? Propagation means travel. But in case of light, I will use the term propagation. So the light propagates in the straight line. So what is the ray? I think all of you have understood the concept of the ray. Now after this ray, I am coming to reflection. What is the meaning of the term reflection? All of you have seen plane mirror. Let us say this is the plane mirror. And does it represent the plane mirror? Yes, because this surface is plane. The straight line that you are seeing, it is representing plane surface, just like the glass on the window pane, just like the glass fitted in the dressing mirror, just like the glass fitted in in some other mirror. So what does this is the same? It represents a plane mirror. And what does this part represent? This part, it represents the polishing, right? let us say a ray of light, it falls on this. So what will happen? Definitely it will bounce back. This ray of light, it will bounce back. The ray of light which is falling on this mirror is called the incident ray, because incident means to fall. If I drop a ball here, what will happen? It will fall on ground. You can say the ball is incidenting on the ground. Now this is incident ray, and the ray whose path is changed, that ray is called the reflected ray. If I draw angle of 90 degree, this angle of 90 degree, this angle is called normal. So the right angle to this plane mirror is called the normal. Now let me define the term reflection. What the reflection means? The bouncing back of light from a given surface is called reflection. This is called reflection. In reflection, this is incident ray, this is normal, this is reflected ray. Now, if there is a reflection, definitely it is following certain laws. So what are those laws? First law is, let us say this is I, angle I, this is angle I. What is angle I? This angle I is called the angle of incidence, and this angle is R is called angle of reflection. Dear students, if you have not opened your notebook, please open it so that you can make the notes along with this. Angle I is called angle of incidence and angle R is called the angle of reflection. Now what are the laws? The first law is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, and second law is incident ray, reflected ray and the normal, they are lying in the same plane. What is the meaning of this, that they are lying in the same plane? Now listen, let us say I am having, let us say these two markers are representing incident ray, and this is representing reflected ray, and third is representing normal. If I do the normal like this, what will happen? I will say that they are not lying in the same plane. But now these three are lying in the plane of whiteboard. Now they are not lying in the same plane. So second law is incident ray, reflected ray and normal. Incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie in same plane. So what this is the say? This is reflection and its laws. Now I think the concept of reflection and its laws is very clear to you, is very much clear to you. Now where you see this concept of reflection? Listen students, when you stand up before a mirror, what do you see? You see your image in the mirror. So that is reflection. Now how you are able to see the objects? Now all of you are seeing that this is the blue ink. How I am able to see the words which are written in the blue? It is very, very simple. How it is very, very simple? We know that light consists of how many colors? 7 colors. Now, in case of this, the light, it absorbs blue color and it reflects all other colors. Is it correct? Incorrect. What is correct? In this case, this reflected ray word, it will absorb all other colors except blue, and this blue, it gets reflected to our eyes, so we are able to see this as a blue colored words. So whatever we see in this universe, it is because of the whatever we see, the objects around us, we see because of the reflection. Right? Now, for seeing the stars, they are having their own light. We can see them because their light, it directly enters our eyes. Their reflection is not used, but whatsoever in our surrounding we see, it is because of the reflection of the light. Now, question arises: do laws of reflection are applicable everywhere, whether the surface is plain or rough? Answer is yes. Laws of reflection are applicable everywhere, whether it is a plain surface or it is a rough surface. They are applicable everywhere. Alright? Now we are going to discuss the plane mirror. A very interesting property of a plane mirror, and I think all of you will do this. Let us say this is the word L. Students, what you have to do? What you will do? You will take a plane mirror and write L in your notebook. Let us say you will write L in your notebook and you will place that notebook in front of a mirror. What you will find? You will find that image is formed like this. Alright? Another one is, if I write this E, how it will be in this? It will be, it's small. Right? If I say there is a letter O, how it will be? Like this. If I am having the letter X, there will not be any change. Okay, I am giving you one more. Let us say S. Can you draw its face? Can you draw its image? Look, it will start from here like this. It will be like this. And what this property is called? This property is called the lateral inversion. Okay, this property is called the lateral inversion. Thank you and have a nice day.